you're going to have fun. You're going to go on a 4-ship ride. If you've never been close to another airplane, you're going to be in a 4-ship, what we call diamond. So we're going to have an airplane on the right, the left, and one in the slot. And you're going to go out and you're going to sightsee a little bit. And you're going to get to maneuver and see some of the maneuvering that we do during our air shows, as well as the close formation work that we do. So I think you'll get an appreciation of what the pilot's concentration is with this airplane and how responsive the airplane is for doing what it does. And you'll be able to look out and you'll be able to open the canopy, which is something you can't do, and you'll be able to get fresh air, and it's going to be just exhilarating and fun, and I think you'll love it. My dad was a pilot in World War II in the beginning of the Korean conflict, and he used to always tell me back then they had wooden ships and iron men. And I fly for the airlines now. We have all this magic equipment that we work with, but back then they had this airplane. They had a little needle that pointed to the ship. They were in weather. They had no radar to speak of. They had no big communications to speak of, and they put themselves in harm's way all the time, then had to find their way home. So I see where my father says iron men and wooden ships. Back then, the men of that generation, in my mind, are our heroes, and that's why we're here today. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for our military, but especially back in that generation, I think they had so much will to make things happen without the tools that we have today and the technology we have today that saves lives and makes a lot more things possible. But back then, I think they were our true heroes. They were built in 1940 to 1950. They were World War II fighter trainers. They were advanced trainers. They actually taught all the pilots in World War II had to go through this advanced trainer before they moved on to the P-51 Mustangs, Corsairs, B-17s, B-25. They all had to do their gunnery work and their aerobatic work in these aircraft. So it's kind of neat to fly an airplane that was built in that era and appreciate flying our modern jets, which I do, as well as the rest of the team. Most of us are, most of the guys are former fighter pilots, and to fly the current day fighters and airliners and then get back in these airplanes and realize this is the best tools that they had back then is really pretty incredible, and it's great to be able to take a part of history and bring that to show the people what these airplanes are all about. The airplanes have a network that's set up for them where the airplanes connect to the lead ship, and then in the lead ship I have a tablet that sits on my knee, and I can create messages, program, move airplanes around, and run messages. When we do our aerial skytyping, which we call it, skywriting is with one airplane. We do skytyping with 5. It's a series of dots. We can put out 25 letters in less than 2 minutes. So, and the dots are extremely exact, so it comes out perfectly. And by putting out 25 letters in less than 2 minutes, the messages are not susceptible to wind quite as much as a skywriting message. So we can put long sentences out, have the people read them. They get involved in the messages, which is a wonderful thing. They can actually remember those messages, and they can see them for about 20-mile circle.